Wagwan, my people, wagwan, me there with another one brought to you by YNA Network. Here, you that today with another article. What am I say? Listen here. On some of my videos, I got it with copyright infringement. What go on with YouTube? Say I say YouTube. Me can't video myself. I read. I don't like say YouTube I pay me no money. YouTube, you're not paying me no money, YouTube. You're not paying me. So why am I being hit with copyright infringement when I'm just reading? So anyway, let's dive into this one. XRP adoption in US is what China wants to prevent. SEC comes in handy. What is you that today talking about? Yori Maclan, Wagwan, what you say? CEO of Reaper Financial Blockchain Company, Patrick L. Riley, has shared his take on the role of XRP in the unannounced economic rivalry between China and the USA, saying that the current Ripple SEC lawsuit isn't just a court case, it's a war. I've been saying that for a long time. And if you follow the video and you listen to some of my videos, you definitely hear me say that this is not just this is a war against crypto now, right? Because we all know what we all know how some of the politicians in America, how they feel about the XRP token, XRP technology, I should say. XRP, not Ripple, guys. XRP, the blockchain. Because they believe that this system is going to take over the fiat currency, the fiat system. It's not going to take over the currency. It's just going to upgrade the system. The way money works, the way money flow, the way money move. That's all it's doing. But let's dive into what Yori is saying now. So Riley tweeted that China has been manipulating Bitcoin for years and did not sick its dogs on the leading crypto, even though it has banned crypto trading and mining in the country. What China wanted, indeed, he believes, is not to allow XRP adoption in the US, since it keeps America from going under. That is true. I'm not going to say it's not true. Like, those sentiments can be true. I don't know if that, if that's what China is thinking. But, So anyway, in this regard, he stated that the SEC lawsuit against Ripple Labs is not just a court case. It's a war. But ever since the crack, yeah, it's a war. It's a war. It's not just a lawsuit. It's a war, of course. Yeah, it's a war. I'm not going to deny it. And especially with the FTX issue that just recently played out, are being played out right now. That's the beginning of a new form of war against crypto. And as you can see, the SEC is going after a lot of unregulated. I think Gary finally found a door into some, especially the scam coins. Those need to go. Trust me, a lot of so-called technology in crypto needs to be filtered, and that's why a lot of people have been calling for a regulation with the industry. So regulate it, right? Regulate it. Make the standards, because Bitcoin already defined what blockchain is. And now it's time for them. Now it's time for the standard, right? Once the standard is at play, then you're going to see the true power of Bitcoin. So, continue. I'm getting distracted. So there's a tweet. The legal battle against Ripple was kicked off by the U.S. Securities regarding in December 2020, and it still continues as the parties to this case keep scoring small victories against each other. The Ripple CEO and the XRP Army hope that the case will be settled in 2023. Garland House, in particular, believes that it may happen in the first quarter of it. Me not believe nothing with them people that say, if it happen, it happen. Do I want it to happen? Yes, I do. But am I going to listen to these timelines and all these bullshit dates and speculative assumptions? No, I'm not. Not going to do that. I can't do that. I'm sorry. I cannot do that. When it happen, it happen. My mind right now is basically, it is needed to happen. I would like to see it happen and moving forward, right, with what is, and, you know, but I am not sitting and waiting and you know, speculating and looking forward to it happening at a specific date. I think people need to stop doing that. And, you know, I don't know if this is Yuri or somebody else, or the man where I chat, Patrick Riley. I don't know if Patrick Riley this attack or or Yuri, the writer of this article. We don't need to stop to that star. Nobody, we don't need. All right, if Garland House believes that the settlement may happen at the end of March or something, that's the first quarter, right? The first 3 months. Make him believe that. We are going to tell people that fuck. I don't know, you got people I start say, oh, yeah, Garland House, I see you that, blah, blah, blah. And what going to happen if it doesn't happen? Now they're going to say, Garland House, you should know better. Same as how they roast Sir Charles Hoskinson's, you know, for tweeted out about how Ripple settlement could be in December 15, 2022. And then when December 15, 2022 came around and nothing happened, people were like drilling a hole through Sir Charles, right? So it's the same thing in a sense. I feel like if this Ripple don't get the settlement in March, people are gonna be drilling a hole in Garland House, right? So listen now, man. Enough with the speculative, man. Enough with the speculations. That's all I'm trying to say. Does China care about XRP? Does China care about XRP? Me don't know. But let's see if what this article is going to say about it. China has been working on its own central bank digital currency. Yes, we know that. CBDC digital yuan. Of course, China probably was secretly doing this from a long time because most of the developers of the crypto industry come from Asia. So I'm sure China has been in works for years under CBDC for a long time now, right? And then when China saw that Bitcoin is going to be a direct challenger of any issued CBDC, this is just my speculations, my opinion. China decided to kick all the miners, the Bitcoin miners, out of China, right? So that they can control the digital technology, the digital usage, the digital issuance in their part of the world. Yeah, so that's it. It has been working on it for several years and doubled its efforts when Facebook began its attempts to create a stablecoin backed by a basket of most popular fiat currencies in 2019-2020, which failed. Thank you, Zuckerberg. Facebook's project was put away to a distant shelf, while the Chinese one has been tested with real users and their wallets already. Yeah, it's still going on to this day. Back in 2019, there was a lot of talk on crypto Twitter by influencers such as Anthony Pompliano that the U.S. should launch digital USD as soon as possible. They believe that if China launches their CBDC before the U.S., China will surpass the U.S. in the forming sphere of digital finance globally. And China already passed. There's no pass. China did it. America is blocking it. That's just what it is. And lots of these folks are trying to sound the alarm and say, hey, what are you doing? You claim that you're in a race with this other superpower, and you're letting this other superpower adapt a technology. Because remember, China has been developing their CBDC for a long time, and I don't know specific details around that. My speculative guess would be the fact that majority of the developer in the crypto industries are Asians. And I'm not saying anything is wrong with that, but if I'm from China and I'm a major developer, why not try to create a solution to some of the problems within my own country? So I believe that they've been working on that for years now, and they find out that it worked. The joint worked, and it might be slow to pick up, but the fact that it's secure and steady, nothing can beat that. It's like land. If there's no chemical rain or war or flood, it's still going to be there. So anyway, the Fed Reserve then began looking into crafting what was called a Fed coin. However, some in the crypto communities criticized the idea of the U.S. crafting a CBDC. Of course, some in the crypto community is always going to have something to say when it comes to CBDC, because definition of crypto in the earlier days was geared around decentralization. And now when a technology through the blockchain has risen up out of the blockchain that create a backdoor for centralization to run off of decentralization, which is called CBDC or fintech, or like bank coins. Now it's a new language like XRP, XLM, Quant, Cardano. I don't know if Cardano is a bank coin, but I don't think Cardano, but Algorand, and there's a lot more. HXDC or something like that. Adera. There's a few other ones I'm forgetting. I'm not I didn't bring up, but yeah, right. So of course, the crypto community do not like XRP. You think the crypto community like XRP? Unless, all right. Let me backtrack that. Let me back that up. I'm gonna backtrack that. All right. Some of the people, let's say, more than half of the crypto community, because the crypto community is not that big, and and if it's big right now, it's not that not that old. So more than half support Ripple, right? More than half, but there is a big chunk that doesn't, because they're still in stance for decentralization. That's it, decentralization. They don't see the reality of our system. They don't see the reality of the system in general. There's no way that you can usher out decentralization immediately without crashing the whole entire economy before it start working again. Yes, but what about that crash? So many people are going to be hurt. So many people. You can't get around that. And that can be damaging, because you still need people to trade in decentralization to give it its value, right? So why would you count out CBDC? Because CBDC could be another learning realm that lead people into decentralized. I think CBDC is gonna make decentralization more popular. That's what it is, because you can't kill decentralization, right? It's going to be there unless you shut off the internet. The power that leads, that give power, empower the internet, right? So there you go. So anyway, let's get back to this. Among them was the famous whistleblower Edward Snowden. He called CBDC a perversion and crypto fascist currency. Yeah, no shit. It's literally going to advance the banking power. It's gonna just make it more easier, faster, simple, cheaper. Convenient. It's gonna give crazy convenience to fiat. That's why I said it's not gonna kill the fiat. It's gonna strengthen it times 10. Right. So, and that's what most governments are gonna use. You gotta think about it too from a government perspective. They're not gonna just allow a technology to come and kill them and erase everything that they've built. They're gonna try to control it. If they can't control it, they're gonna try to find a solution that can rival against it. Come on now. Think. Don't just think from one perspective. Think from more than one perspective. Then you'll see the detail outlined right in front of you. Right in front of you. So many on crypto Twitter also shared their concerns that by launching digital yuan, the Chinese government will tighten its control over the population's personal finance, earnings, and spending, and were worried that the same may happen in the U.S. should the Fed launch digital USD. Let's read that again. Many on crypto Twitter also shared their concern that the launching digital yuan, the Chinese government will tighten its control over the population, personal finance, earnings, and spending, and were worried that the same may happen in the U.S. should the Fed launch its digital USD. And I don't really know too much about the Fed, the USD, the Fed coin. I don't really know much about it. Really never. I've heard about it, but I don't know too much about it. You know what I'm saying? That's the truth. That's the truth right there, bro. The Fed coin is here. Let's get into this. Who's this guy? Rogue Economics. I can't say I've been on this before. There was little splash or fanfare when the investors still reeling from the messy collapse of FTX and stocks and brutal bear markets. I'd forgive you for not noticing, but it happened. The Fed launching a digital dollar pilot program. Now, if you're a regular reader, you probably knew this was coming. Well, I'm not a regular reader, but I knew this was coming. Anyway, I've written before. Well, I'm a regular reader now in general, but I'm not a regular reader of, Rogue Economics. I know you guys know where I'm going with this. I just want to talk about it. Now, I've written before about the Fed's desire to move away from physical cash and towards a central bank digital currency. We saw this coming. I saw this coming from 2010 when they were like messing with our bank cards. Because before, you used to be able to push in the card and there, enter the button, or do what is it? The swipe. You could have swiped before, then you could have do this. And now you're tapping it now, and then before there was no RFID that was in our bank card. There was no low tracking system in there. Now there's a chip inside our bank cards. How you think we're able to scan and scan it over, wave it over, or tap whatever and pay and go, because there's a chip in there. So they forced the people to accept that. They tell us, when I went there personally and told them I didn't want this, they told me I didn't have a choice. Either I do it or I have to cancel my account with them. And most banks were saying the same thing. So anyway, I've written before about the Fed's desire to move away from physical cash towards a central bank digital currency. That said, that desire had been pretty theoretical and wishy-washy, but not anymore. With the CBDC pilot program in motion, the Fed just took a giant step towards its ultimate goal, the digital dollar, or Fed coin. Guys, I've been talking about this. I've been mixing it with scriptures so that we walk down this road spiritually, because it's coming. It's coming in something that we cannot stop, right? Because it's even embedded in prophecy about the chips, not the chips that you eat, but the chip. How it's right? A lot of people were blaming COVID and saying COVID is going to bring you the trip, you know, conspiracy theory they call us. But I always knew that it's technology. But there's someone who's going to push it real far. There's a man that's going to push it real far. Actually, I don't know if it's a man or a woman, but and that person is coming soon. Less than a year. I won't say who it is. Not yet. So today I want to pull back the curtain on this massive development and show you what it means for you. But first, if you haven't saved your spot at my countdown, blah, 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 I don't know what this guy's talking about. So the Regulated Liability Network, the Fed is kicking off the pilot in partnership with 9 global finance giants plus SWIFT. SWIFT, as you might know, is a major international payment network. What's more, the technology for this pilot program is powered by Amazon Web Service. In other words, the entities involved in some serious heavy hitters. MasterCard is on that list too. And so are banks like BNY Mellon, Citi, Wells Fargo, HSBC, which some of these guys are on Stellar. I'm sure Citi's on Stellar. I'm certain I've seen Citi on Stellar. I'm not. I'm hold my tongue. They're all working together in a 12-week pilot program for the new digital dollar. The project was originally proposed by a managing director of Citigroup, Tony McClellan, in his paper, Regulated Internet of Value. It's so I say aptly because the digital Fed coin has the potential to become a test of the biggest liability for our freedoms, but more on that in a moment. So, the idea is to make use of blockchain's tech to make settlements between banks through their Fed reserves as they exchange simulated digital tokens. These tokens represent customer deposits. The banks will also run the pilot as a simulation next to existing transactions. In other words, the pilot will mimic real-world banking transactions, and it will allow existing legislation to test the legal viability of the CBDC. This means the pilot group will have to figure out a way to apply Know Your Customer KYC, anti-money laundering, AML, and a myriad of other laws and regulations to blockchain that the digital dollar will run on. To the blockchain. All right, so there you go. So we know that it's going to be run on a blockchain. But which blockchain is it going to run on? You see how they're not telling you? You see how they're not telling you nothing? But yet they're going to talk about FTX and all this bullcrap. Prevention. Excuse me. Excuse me. Right? So we know it's going to be run on a blockchain. This is why it's important to read. We know it's going to run off of a blockchain, right? But which blockchain? But it tells you, it talks about some of the partners. It tells you up here that the Fed is kicking off its pilot partnership with 9 global finance giants plus SWIFT. So 10. Right? And how much did they give us out of the 10? This article talked about the technology for pilot program is powered by Amazon Web Service. So 1. In other words, entities involve some serious heavy hitters. What are the evidence is MasterCard. 2. And so are banks like, right? BNY Mellon. 3. Citi. 4. Wells Fargo. 5. HSBC. That's 6. Where's the other 4? They're all working together in the 12-week pilot program for the new digital dollar. All right. Let's go check out Stellar. Let's go up on Stellar website right there now. And we're gonna go see if Citi or any one of these banks, because they're not telling us. They're not telling us. So we gotta do the research. So I'm gonna go on here, designed for, where is it? We're gonna go on here and try to figure out, learn more, borderless limit experiment. Who are the banks? Stellar makes money better. Stellar advertise the global payment apps. All right. Explore resources. See all projects. Let's go and see. Or some of Stellar's partners. See if Citi's on there. And HSBC and the BNY one. So Citi, let's go to C. ABC. And it's CI. It's kind of like looking in a dictionary. Oh no, Citi's not. City States medieval. Circle is there, but I don't see Citi. So the other one was HSBC or BNY. I don't think I've ever seen BNY on there still. But even if it's not on here, the fact that there's few other banks that are missing, and we know Stellar is very secretive. All right, let's go to HSBC. Let's see if we can find an H. I know Bank of America should be either on Ripple. I think it's on Ripple. Where is what am I looking for now? H, man. I don't think it's on here. HTC. IBM is on here. IBM Wire. Hobie. It's not on here. Kraken is on here. KuCoin. Lobster. Ledger Nano X is on Stellar. But it did state on the website that they're going to be working with, see, MoneyGram is on Stellar. They're going to be working, Newton is on Stellar. It's going to be on the blockchain, right? I'm just going all the way down because I'm just like, might as well just show you guys what's on Stellar right now. So this is for the folks who are watching. I know that most of the times when I do this blog my readings, I do it for people who drive a lot. You know, it helps a lot to keep you company. Listening to things that you want to listen to, right? Satoshi Pay is on here. So if you don't want to listen, if you don't have the time to watch and see the screen, I don't think moving forward with this video makes much sense, because I'm just basically showing what's on Stellar right now because I'm on there. None of the banks that I try to look up is on here. None of them. But it did say that they're, you know, it's going to be on a blockchain. But of course, they're not going to tell you which blockchain is going to be on, because the price of that blockchain is going to go crazy. Tala is on here. Tala is on here. Wow, I didn't even notice that. Telus Cooperative. Is that Telus the phone or a different thing? Yeah, man, but that's crazy, right? Digital currency. Hey, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the digital display. There's a lot of things going digital these days. There's gonna be a digital display. Wire just went bankrupt or something. I don't know. Something going on with them. Yeah, there's a digital display for anything in a store where that display items, the price, the name, expiry, how much is left in stock. Like, it's gonna, like, this new generation that we're in right now, man. It's gonna be so different, and we're merging right into it. So, you know, the younger generations who are like 3-4 years old coming up, it's gonna be totally different for them. So yeah, man, just there. Anyway, guys, have a good day. Thanks for tuning in.